And here we've got Marie coming back, putting to work those 4-season tires from factory. The OEM tires are actually doing decently in this very cold weather, -17. Again, so silent as it drives by, almost like an electric vehicle driving by. I guess we have to run after our ride because it is cold. The snow is crunching underneath my feet. You can see the blinkers very easily seen. Let's jump in. I am freezing. There we go. Look at the new look on the 2025 Ford Maverick. They all have this look. Now this is an all-wheel drive hybrid. So far we're liking it. Very silent when it goes by when you're in all electric mode, but as you'll see from the interior shots, it's a little louder when that Atkinson 4-cylinder, it's an Atkinson cycle 4-cylinder engine, and it is a little noisy when you're hard on the pedal. So let's just check that out in a moment. All right, let's go check out the 2025 Ford Maverick Hybrid interior space when you've got a family. So we've got Layla back here. She seems comfortable and happy. Let's see about the rest of the family. Let's jump right in. I've got tons of space, but I don't have a baby seat behind me. And we've got Marie here. Let's find out.
My legs are arriving flush from the dash. So I'm okay, I have space. But at the same time, not enough for my feet because my feet are you know, little place that is not flat. It's at the end when it goes up like that. So I don't feel comfortable. So my legs doesn't lay on the seat right there. For a long run, I would not be comfortable. Just to go to grocery stores for 10 minutes is fine, but for a long run, no. And my feeling is that my face is too close from the dash and the windshield. So it's like everything is in my face. And if we, for example, if we have an accident, I'm not sure. I feel it's
safe. And you're not quite 5'10", so I'm a little over 5'10", and I did not fit so well in there. I would not be comfortable for more than, you know, a little quick 20, max 30-minute ride, and I also would not feel safe at all in an accident. No. But Layla back there, we can see the seat. We've done our best to gain every little centimeter that we could. But Layla back there is very comfortable, and in the case of a crash, this is a very safe vehicle. But let's go take it out for a ride now, test out these 4-season tires on the snow, and get back to also testing all the interior technology. This now connects with Apple and the Android system. So you've got the full connectivity. You've got the Sync 4, and the Sync 4 is fast, and the equipment on this is just absolutely fantastic with the heated steering wheel, the heated seats. At 46,295 Canadian, we've got all sorts of equipment that we would not have: heated steering wheel, heated exterior mirrors with blind spot detection, automatic high and low beams, this fantastic screen behind the dash, really 12-inch screen here, non-tactile, obviously, so not a touch screen, but a great screen. And we've got lane keeping, not lane centering, but lane keeping. That'll work to keep us. So let's test out all this technology, the drive mode. So stay tuned as we also, of course, test out fuel economy, handling, how this thing can take a bump, cornering, and Marie's going to need to get behind the wheel. So stay tuned for that. All right, now I'm in the passenger seat and I am squished in here. I could handle maybe 20, max 30 minutes. Marie's driving, and what did you just notice? You're saying you can't drive this like the F-150 over the big, huge speed bumps. Yeah, we have speed bumps here, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to brake more than usual with the F-150. Yeah, this is lower to the ground, and we don't want to bottom it out. So let's check out these speed bumps here. So if we take him at a a normal speed, like normal people. How was that? And Marie, how did you find taking that speed bump?
Slow like that, it's perfect, but it's annoying because we have to brake more.
Yeah, on the F-150.
Feel like we're losing time.
Yeah, absolutely. On the F-150, we take these at full speed. We don't slow down at all because the truck's high off the ground. We've got
very well.
And the F-150, all of them, it's high off the ground. The suspension's good, and the tremor suspension is great. We can just speed through these bumps. We could be going 20 kilometers over the speed limit and be able to take him. So let's just check again here in a slower zone. What if we take him at 30?
30, okay.
So we'll try it at 30 here. Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not disappointed at all. The only thing I'm really disappointed in is with the rear facing baby seat. I'm eating the dash here. I'm gonna put the vehicle in L. So on your little round gear selector, you've got an L. That's not for losing races, it's for low. And it's gonna, the E55 unit in the front that controls the torque, it's gonna help create resistance, kind of like if you think about one pedal driving on an electric vehicle. It's going to help create more resistance, charge up that battery, and today we need to try to get that battery charged because this isn't a plug-in. How it charges is when you let go of the accelerator pedal, resistance is created. Now if you don't have low mode on, a little bit of resistance is created to help charge that battery, and if you do have low mode on, well, you slow down more without using the brake pedal and you create a little bit more energy. So I actually like driving it in that mode quite a bit. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good. It's you need to adapt your way to drive. It's not the same, but you got it quickly. Like it only took 1 minute to adjust.
Easy to adapt to. Like Marie said, 1 minute to adjust. And the touchscreen does not take 1 minute to give you what you want when you touch it. It's actually lightning quick without any electrical shocks. So I'm liking the touchscreen quite a bit. I love how without a wire, it's going to connect to your maps on your phone. So you get the updated maps, construction zones, traffic zones, sometimes even letting you know where the police are located. So super, super helpful, and it's great that we don't have to connect it. I find that the vehicle heats up really quickly. One thing that's great about Ford's electric vehicles is they heat up and de-ice a windshield far faster than a gas and even faster than a diesel engine vehicle. And because this has an electric vehicle and a gas engine, well, I think that battery, the electric side of this, really helps get the vehicle warm very, very quickly.
Yeah, when you started, it took only 1 minute to feel that it was hot.
Yeah, just like an electric vehicle, it usually heats up within about a minute, roughly 1 minute time. How do you find the responsiveness of the steering? Is it direct? Is it loose?
That's a good question. It's a little bit, I'm searching the right word right now. It's not that,
okay.
Is it just me? The steering wheel feel comfortable, but a little bit, can you help me with that one?
Oh yes, I definitely can help with that. So you're saying basically you like the steering a little less because it's very direct. So you don't have to turn the steering very little and it starts directing those wheels. So there's not a lot of give or a lot of, you could say, loose play. It's a very direct steering wheel, which I actually love because I'm used to driving sports cars, and to make me happy, a vehicle has to have a very direct steering wheel. Now the steering on this is, you feel it more, it's direct, it responds immediately, but Marie prefers a steering wheel that, you know, doesn't respond quite as fast and feels a little more, you know, forgiving with vibrations in your hands, I guess.
And I think it's because usually we drive the F-150, so to came back with a car like that, I just need to adapt.
And I think you said the real deal right there. Don't be fooled. This doesn't drive like a truck. You called it a car. This drives like a really good SUV or kind of like a big car.
Yeah, it's not the same. And I think the F-150 is a little bit too much comfortable, too much easy on the steering wheel. It's like a big boat sometimes. So I guess it's because of that every car or truck smaller than that could look a little bit
a little too direct. Yeah. I really like the direct steering. Like I drive in the summer, I drive one of the two Porsche 911s for the channel here, or I drive the Shelby GT350. So I like a direct steering. I love how this EPAS steering works. It's electronic power assisted steering, which means there's not all this extra mechanical drive shaft behind the steering wheel. It's mostly electrical, and it also means that the ratio between the steering wheel and the wheels, I'm pretty sure, now let me know in the comments section if I got this wrong, but I'm pretty sure that means that the ratio is going to adapt to your speed, making for easy direct driving at lower speeds like we saw before. But how about now? Do you play just a little with the steering wheel and we'll see? It's looser, right? So I think that's our test right there. I think we've proven that this has a ratio between the steering wheel and the wheels that adapts to your speed, because now on the highway it's more forgiving. It's not just, you know, you sneeze and you move the steering wheel a centimeter and you're out in a snowbank, or you know,
I really saw the difference.
Eating corn in the field. You really see a difference? Great. Well, that really confirms it. I love vehicles that have a steering to front wheel ratios, you know, an adaptable steering ratio. I find it adds a great deal of comfort. Heating system's great. The seats, when I drive, I find it comfortable. How are you finding this now that you're in the driver's seat and you've got more space?
Yeah, it's comfortable because now my legs could rest on the seat. So yeah, I don't feel like I need to stay like that and be stuck. Yeah, so it's comfortable. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm used to a big, huge captain's chair in my Starfleet Enterprise F-150 Tremor. I feel like I've got the big captain's chair in that, but this, while it's a smaller chair, it is comfortable. Now, I'm not a huge guy, so I wonder if I was, you know, let's say 6'4" and 300 or 350 pounds, if I'd still find it comfortable. But it's not overly bolstered on the sides, so I think while it might kind of wrap your back a little, it's not an aggressive bolstering setup. So I think even people that are over 300 pounds are still going to find this.
I think it will be great in it. Yeah. It's not like the Bronco seats that were more like a racing seat that holds you there. Yeah, this one is more flatter, so I guess it goes well with the different size.
Now let's see, as we pass some people here, people doing a little work on the weekend, bringing some branches back, and you can see these are now the road conditions here. We're no longer on snow covered, we're on excessively salted roads, and the wind noise is pretty noisy though. Yeah,
but that bad. I guess some cars have more noise in it on the highway. For sure it's noisy, but I'm not sure if it's the baddest on the market.
Yeah, no, definitely not. We've definitely driven worse than this. For the price, I'd say totally acceptable. Now, an area of regular complaints, because I like to do the don't be fooled section. A lot of people, before we talk about this don't be fooled section, we just got to show you the view I normally get. Mountains out there in the background. This is the type of area that an all-wheel drive Ford Maverick, whether you get the EcoBoost to get all that extra power, or you go with the hybrid, which for me so far I'm feeling like is enough power to make me happy. Mountainous, snowy area. I love the hybrid all-wheel drive. I hope I'm gonna love, stay tuned, I hope I'm gonna love the fuel economy. I'm not quite sure yet about that. So is it worth it? At least Ford's no longer charging an extra for the hybrid. It's your standard engine, no extra charge. But don't be fooled section part 1. People have complained a lot about the interior, and the new interior, well, it doesn't have the orange anymore, which was a love-hate for many shoppers. But I could buy this because the interior, I could definitely buy into this interior. I am buying into the interior. I really like the blue. I like the blue stitching on the seats. I like the mix of the cloth. It's all cloth on the seats, but it's a mix of materials, giving it a nice modern design. People always complain about the plastics on the vehicle, and it's like, dude, buddy, have you driven a 911? Have you driven a lot of high-end sports cars, or really a lot of cars on the market? At this price point, and even at double the price point, they're not putting leather on the dashes anymore. This is a plastic dash, and I can say, while yes, it's hard, it does look good. People have complained about the interior, saying, oh, well, it gets dirty so easily. Well, at least it's not, you know, flashy, high luster black, which gets fingerprints all over it so easily.
And scratch easily.
And scratches easily. People have said that this interior does kind of scratch easily, but you know, we haven't owned this for a year, so we'll have to please drop a comment if you're a long-term owner. But for dirt, I was able to rub the dirt off that's on the doors with just my little leather gloves, and the dirt came off real easy. So the plastic isn't picking up dirt. It doesn't show fingerprints like the interior of the Santa Cruz. That is like flashy, high gloss black everywhere, and it drove me nuts because we're just on a brand new vehicle test drive and there was fingerprints everywhere. And here the screen is at a good angle. The sun doesn't block out our vision. The view of the touchscreen is really great. It's a big touchscreen, huge improvement.
Yeah, the only thing I was hoping they get rid of is the plastic trim in the doors that looks like I said that in video before, yeah, like a cooler or a plastic bottle.
early on, at the very beginning of the Maverick, you had just gotten your Maverick. We were early owners of a Maverick, and you're like, wow, it really looks like the plastic of an 80s, 90s cooler, which is cool for nostalgia, but we want this vehicle to be hot, not cool.
Like, okay, you remove the orange color because people, like you said, love it or hated it.
Yep.
But this one, I was really hoping it would be removed before the orange color. But okay.
Well, at the price, we can always buy a roll of leather and glue leather into the door trimming. But I certainly don't mind it one bit because it's a truck. If the Mustangs were made this way, I'd be horrifically disappointed. But this is a truck, and I'm okay with it being utilitarian. And really, I kind of like the rugged utility look. I love the Bronco. It's fully modular, and Bronco has plastic doors and doesn't bother me because that's what it's all about. So let's check out the outside styling of this vehicle. And thank you so much for watching thus far. Drop a comment if you've made it this far. Give us a little howdy or made it this far. And we're now getting back to our F-150. We're going to do a little review on the outside styling because it's love or hate as well. We don't have a love or hate interior anymore. I think the blue is pretty either you're indifferent or you love it, but the interior is going to be love or hate for some. I didn't think I liked it before I actually saw it in person over the computer. I didn't like the front end. I didn't like the front end when I saw it on the computer images.
Because of the lights?
Because of the lights and the grille, and now mostly the bumper and the lights. And now I've got, stay tuned. Things have changed a lot. Now, how did we do in this extremely cold weather test? Well, we got 20.5 miles per gallon. We covered 6.4 miles in all electric mode. And that's from actually an hour of driving. So a lot of that was test driving. We actually pulled off, well, about 19.7 miles per gallon. So this trip, nothing, but overall 20 miles per gallon in this extreme cold weather test. Last night when it was much warmer, we got much better fuel economy. We're not far off the 40 miles per gallon. So good to know whether you have an electric vehicle that has less range in cold weather or a gasoline vehicle that takes much more fuel in cold weather. That is what you can expect. You're going to be driving this in the winter, and unlike all other Fords, remember, you've got a button for your gas tank. So don't try to push it open and think it's jammed. You need to hit that button and actually often wait, because it's only going to pop the back trap open for the gas once the pressure has been released. So a little patience is required. Now for the conclusion, let's compare this to other trucks or maybe other SUVs. This is hard to compare to any other truck. The price comes in way lower than any other truck. Big price difference, but a big size difference, meaning it doesn't work like most trucks. It doesn't have the space of most trucks, but it does have the technology of most trucks, or actually better. On an XLT luxury package, you can get heated steering wheel and heated seats, heated exterior, mirror for about half the price of what you pay on a Ford F-150. So I think this is a great buy, but don't buy it expecting that you're getting an actual truck, or not your typical truck. This is more like a truck from the 1990s and about the power of a V8 from the early 90s. The power is more than adequate. The 2-liter EcoBoost is actually pretty powerful for the weight of this vehicle, coming in around 3,700 pounds. So the power is great. The 4,000 towing now available on the hybrid, but be warned, that's only because of the E55. I guess it's kind of like a torque converter. The mechanics around the electric engine, can't be called a transmission, but anyways, the unit partaking with the electric motor can now tow 4,000 pounds only if you have 4K towing. So don't try it on your previous gen hybrid or an EcoBoost that doesn't have 4K towing. And is this an improvement over the previous Maverick? Absolutely. The outside looks better in my opinion. The inside looks better, I think, in everyone's opinion. And I like the interior of this vehicle. I really like how, yes, it's okay, the dash is plastic, but it's a mix of styling and materials. So it looks like it's different materials. It's all plastic, but let's face it, folks. But it is actually great. I love it. This is a great deal. And I find it's still a steal of a deal when you compare it to other trucks. Now, if you compare it to other SUVs, it's reasonably priced for the SUV market, and it handles like a quality SUV. It's the sound deadening is similar to most SUVs on the market, and actually the handling I'd say is better than most SUVs because this has next to no body roll. Driving this was actually better than most SUVs on the market because of the lack of body roll and its great ability to take a bump. Actually very surprising and very high quality. The tech is now high quality. Ford left nothing on the table, throwing that 13-inch touchscreen compared to the old 8-inch where you had to plug in your phone. Now with the new 13.2 touchscreen, you don't have to plug in your phone. It's wireless connection, so you can get your maps from your phone right up on that screen. The low mode is fantastic on hybrid, but if you're driving the EcoBoost, the low mode is a low gear, and it's still very useful. You can still put 4x8s in here. You can still go off to Home Depot and get a quite reasonable load, total payload of 1,500 pounds. If we compare this to the Hyundai Santa Cruz, it's less expensive, just as practical, and well, I prefer it. I much prefer its truck looks, and I like that it drives like an SUV. I think it's a great choice if you want a SUV that's more practical than any other SUV on the market. But if you're looking for a real truck, this just isn't the right vehicle for you. We discovered that with the baby seat, and with the baby seat, boy, was I ever uncomfortable. And Marie said she wouldn't want to spend more than 30 minutes in the vehicle, but we love the style, we love the power, and I think I have a little preference for the hybrid because of the fuel economy. If you're going to be driving mostly in the city, if you only do highway driving, don't worry about it. The EcoBoost is great and they get similar fuel economy on the highway, but there's a huge fuel economy savings when you're driving in the city, or under 50 miles per hour or under 70 kilometers an hour. The hybrid is the right choice for you, and I'm thrilled that we can now get it in an all-wheel drive, intelligent all-wheel drive, which is fantastic in the snow. Now, it would really help us out if you catch one of our other vehicles. Drop a comment first before going to one of our other vehicles, and you'll really be helping the channel out if you catch one of these other videos. That's how this channel is gonna grow, and we wanna grow the community to bring more knowledge and more comments in. So make sure you leave your comment, especially if you're a Maverick owner, because your opinion matters most. Now, Marie and I had owned an early version of the Maverick, and this is definitely an upgrade. Because of the price and all, we rate this a 9 out of 10. Until next time, we wish you all more cars and more power.